got another early gameplay preview for you, Kalypso Media and Realmforge's latest strategy game, Dungeons. Again, the build that I received was only roughly 80% complete, so it didn't contain any cutscenes, sound effects, and it was missing some of the spell icons, but for the most part the gameplay was pretty solid and the graphics were performing beautifully. This title is really quite similar to the old Dungeon Keeper game, so I know a lot of you PC gamers are going to be fapping all over your keyboards when you see this bad boy. Releasing it sometime this spring for around 50 bucks, let's check out this PC exclusive. Here's Dungeons. From the press sheet that came with the preview build, Dungeons puts you in the role of a dungeon lord, who must lure heroes into his dungeon in order to steal their soul energy, which allows him to build more expansive and prestigious dungeons, which in turn attract an even higher grade of hero for harvesting. The game opens with a little goblin minion who teaches you the basics of the game when you're a high-level dungeon keeper, possessing many spells and abilities, when heroes enter your dungeon and gradually overthrow you. You're resurrected as a low-level dungeon keeper and have to start from scratch by building up a series of dungeons to make yourself more powerful and retake your throne. Some of the story elements are actually pretty funny as you report to a zombie king who orders you to do ridiculous things like watering the flowers at the grave of a recently deceased friend of his, and if you don't do it, he'll pummel you with a constant flow of skeletons. There's a skill tree that you spend points in improving things like combat, improvement, and building. The Dungeon Lord also has his own stats that may be increased upon completing a level, allowing you to tailor your character to be more melee focused or more caster focused. There's also a spellbook that contains all of the moves that you'll learn from the skill tree. The basic idea of the game is to build up your dungeon and make it more attractive for heroes to want to enter and then kill them off. The more you kill, the better you're able to make your dungeon, which in turn attracts stronger heroes, and you lose the game if the attacking heroes destroy your dungeon heart. If the Dungeon Lord loses all of his health, he'll instantly respawn back at the dungeon heart, and to my knowledge without any penalty. A red circle of flames indicates your area of influence, which is the only area where you can build and expand your dungeon. To expand your area of influence, you need to place pentagrams on the edges, which in turn also spawn certain monsters to defend the area, but you can only place a certain number of them, so you really need to be selective as to where you place them. While inside the area of influence, the Dungeon Lord's health will regenerate over time, so it makes sense to stay inside and let the heroes come to you. There are three types of resources in the game: prestige, soul energy, and gold. Prestige determines how powerful the Dungeon Lord is, and is a requirement for having higher quality objects in your dungeon. Building gimmicks like shelves, candles, and various torture devices both increase your prestige and make your dungeon look nice and evil. Soul energy is acquired from killing the heroes that enter your dungeon, and is used to purchase the gimmicks that increase your prestige, as well as special features like a guardian for your dungeon heart, and can be used to trigger events like knocking down thick walls that you'd normally be unable to break through yourself. Each hero has their own needs, be it the desire for treasure, the desire to gain knowledge in your libraries, or the desire for masochism. The more that you can cater to their needs by placing the proper gimmicks and objects, the more soul energy they'll be worth. So sometimes you need to just stop being concerned with killing them off and just let them roam around your dungeon and get nice and juicy with delicious soul energy. Upon killing a hero, you'll gain only a fraction of their soul energy unless you've got prisons set up where the heroes may be tortured until you squeeze out every last drop. Finally, you've got to worry about managing your gold. Each time you kill a hero, you'll gain a variable amount of gold, which is in turn used to purchase big items like prisons, libraries, and armories, which cater to the hero's needs, as well as the ability to place pentagrams, which again spawn the monsters to defend your dungeon and expand your area of influence. You can also build piles of treasure on the ground, which attract all kinds of heroes. Just make sure they don't leave the dungeon after grabbing all your fat loot. Now, you're not alone in the whole management of your dungeon. Goblins are purchased to do your dirty work, including tunneling through walls to expand your empire, collecting and piling treasure for the heroes to find, and dragging the knocked out heroes to the prison so they may be tortured. The game is presented in an isometric view that you can pivot around and zoom in, or you could possess your avatar and go down to a real close third-person view. Each mission has its own set of objectives like gaining a certain amount of prestige, hunting down a powerful hero, or opening up a given number of entrances to your dungeon. There's also a custom sandbox game type that allows you to set up a match without any objectives, and simply let you build up your badass dungeon. I know a lot of you PC gamers out there have been waiting for another Dungeon Keeper-like game, and this title may just do the trick for you. While the build that I played was not yet complete, everything looks to be in good shape for release sometime in the next few months. Just the addition of sound effects and voice acting are going to make me pretty excited to test out the final product. I played this title for around 5 hours and completed 3 levels, so I think it's going to have a lot of gameplay for your dollar. What do you think? Leave your questions and comments below. Check out the full write-up and screenshots over at ZeitgeistGameReview.com. Stay up to date by following me on Twitter and Facebook, and make sure to check out all of the other great gaming entertainment on the Game Station. Don't forget to subscribe and press the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching.